It's better late than never. Okay, so A is 1/5, and this will give us 0.2. So if I just follow the simple procedure, this will give us a 20%. And again, I'll show how did I get this and what this signifies. Okay, so the numerator gives us 20. There is a teeny tiny dot here, if you can see. Okay, let's see this dot. This is precisely that one. So that's our A. Let's go for B. What was the question again? 30 people out of 60, like exams. Okay, so 30 divided by 60 will give us half. So this is, oh, sorry, I cannot write equal here. Can I? Yeah, I can, sorry, yeah. I can write equal here because I'm going to multiply and divide by the same thing. I've just skipped one step. Let me show it here because this is really the beginning part, so I should avoid skipping. And again, this numerator is giving me 50, and the percent comes from this. Okay. And the last one, of course, is a different color. Okay, so C is 0.73. That's half of the job is done actually. So 73, so I'll have a 73%. All right, any question up to this? Some of you might get really frustrated, or I shouldn't say frustrated, I would say you would feel really awkward. Why am I spending so much time on this? But these are really basic stuff, so I'm trying to start with this. Okay, if you want me to slow down, you can say that. If you want me to go faster, you can say that as well. I am more than flexible to work with you guys. Okay, all right, let's see what we have in our hands up next. Okay, example 3. Example 3 says the sales tax in a town is 9.4%. How much tax will you pay on a $140 purchase? Okay, so don't look at the solution. That's my suggestion. I'm repeating myself. When you are trying to learn a new thing, especially a mathematical problem, don't go for the solution first. Okay, hide it with your hands or with different things, but don't really look at the solution first. This will actually this will not really help your cause. Okay, so if I hide the solution, if I just look at the question, can anyone tell me what the question is actually looking for? What does it want me to do? Anyone? Just look at the question, don't look at the solution. So if I rephrase it in a way, let's say you have got 9.4 out of 100 in an exam. That's horrible though, forget about it. So you have got 9.4 in an exam out of 100. If the exam was on 140 instead, how much you would have got? Is the question clear? Because again, that's the most important part. You need to understand what the question is asking for. Now, can anyone tell me what am I looking for here? Anyone?
Sales tax on the purchase.
So if you have, oops, God. Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Okay, sorry. I guess I need to change my eye. It's really disturbing. Okay. Now let's go back to our question. So if you have what the screen sharing ended unexpectedly, you need to reboot this device. Oh my God, this is horrible. Gosh. So let me start this one. Okay, let me start this one because I'm sorry, the iPad is really, it's not really working. Anyway, let's go back to the question. So if you have a sales tax, which is 9.4%, what does it signify? That's the first point. Anyone?
Is it just saying that we're going to put 9.4 over 140?
No, that's the maths. That's the mathematical part. So what does it mean in English? I mean, if I say, if you go to Walmart, if you have, let's say you have bought something, and at the very end in the receipt, you can see there is a VAT or tax, right? So it says your tax or VAT is 9.4%. So what does that mean? That's my question.
It means that on top of your original $140 purchase, you're going to have to pay 9.4 of that percent of that over again. So it's going to be more than $140 overall.
Oh, that's the total amount. I'm not really looking for that. Okay, so yeah, I guess you got this almost right. The thing is, if you buy something of worth $100, you need to pay $9.4 of tax. That's it. That's what the question was. The 9.4% tax means whatever you buy of worth $100, whatever it is, you need to pay $9.4 as a tax to the government or to the state. It would be state tax or federal tax, whatever it is, but you need to pay $9.4 for each $100. Okay. Now, yeah, as you said, yeah, the total would be more than 140 because you need to pay that 9.4% tax. That will be added to the total you have already used or purchased. Okay. Okay, now let's go for the next part. So you have purchased something of $140. So now if the sales tax is 9.4%, how much would be the tax? What would be the tax for the purchase of $140? Again, don't look at the solution. You already have it. Don't look at it. Just try to imagine what's going on here. Really basic things. So just spend a little bit of time, and I think everyone will get this pretty quickly. Anyone? Even if you're wrong, go for it. No problems. Just share your ideas.
you change your percentage to the decimal value, right? So then it would be 0.094.
And how would that help us?
Because that you want to find, oh man, I'm trying to think of how to say this. It's
No, you're good.
intuitive. You want to find, I mean, you're basically doing the steps in reverse, right? I can't say why you want to do it, but I know that's
Yeah,
what you're
you are
supposed to
actually
do.
right. Yeah, we are actually we're doing it in the reversed order. Yeah, that's right. So the thing is, you would have paid $9.4 if your purchase was of $100. Now, as it's more than that, now it's not exactly $100. So you want to know what would be the sales tax. Now, how do you do that? So for that, you just need to see what would be the decimal value of that, and then just multiply it by the whole amount. So you multiply a decimal to the total. The small number you get after is the sales tax, which is added to the total. Yeah, perfect. You are absolutely right. So whenever you have a question like this, where the percentage is given and you are looking for the value or the amount for a bigger or even a smaller value, you just need to have the percentage in the decimal value and then just multiply it by the total. So if you can see my screen, can you see my screen? I'm sharing the book right now. Can you see that, everyone?
Yes.
Okay. So at the top, you can see we can actually solve problems like this by just using the equivalent relation. So we know we have calculated the percentage by dividing the part by the whole. Whatever we have, we divided it by the whole number. So if you cross multiply that, if you can see, I wish I had my iPad working. Hopefully I'll fix it after I finish today. I apologize for that. So if you can cross multiply that, the part will be equal to the percent time the whole. That means you just need to multiply the whole amount by the percentage. Okay. So if we can do that, we can actually solve any problem. So for this particular problem, our percent is 9.4. That means if we have it in the decimal, we'll have 0.094, and the whole amount is 140. If we multiply this, we get 13.16. So that's the amount we need to pay as a tax for the purchase we have just made. Okay, so the next time you go to Walmart, if you buy something of, let's say, worth $150, although the sales tax here in Laramie or in Wyoming is, I guess it's 6.2%. I'm not really sure, but it should be somewhere something like that. So if you buy something of more than $100, you'll see you'll have about $6 to $7 additional to the amount you actually purchased. Okay, so that's the amount that comes from this. So the purchase you just made is worth 140, and as the tax is in the town is 9.4%, that means you need to pay $13.16 as tax. Does this make sense? Do you want me to repeat it? I'm more than happy to do that for you. Anyone? Any question up to this? I want you guys to have a clear concept of this, because as we progress, things will be much more difficult. I'm not demoralizing you, but that's the general case, right? That's the obvious case. As you progress, the problems will be more complicated, right? So if you have any question, if you have any doubt, you need to clarify that right here, right now. We can obviously chat during my office hours or whenever both of us can meet, but now is a good time as well. No questions at all? All good? Perfect. Okay, let's go for the next example. Again, I'll hide the solution and I want you guys to do the same as well. Okay. So example 4 says, in the news you hear tuition is expected to increase by 7% next year. If the tuition this year was $1,200 per quarter, what will it be next year? Again, we'll start from the very beginning. What the question is actually looking for, right? We want to know what this actually means, what the questioner want me to solve. Okay, so the first line says tuition is expected to increase by 7%. What does this mean? Let's try to figure out this first. Anyone? Mary, I guess you're trying to say something, but I can't hear you. I still can't. Yeah, that's now I can hear you. Yeah.
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay. I just said that you're trying to find what is 7% of 1,200.
No. Just forget about the. Let's for now. Let's. No, you're good. Let's just not worry about the second part of it. My question is, if I say something is going to increase by 7%, what does that mean?
The price is going to increase?
That it's going to increase by 7% of its initial value. So if it was 100 and it's increasing by 7%, then it'll increase by 7% of 100, which would be $7 to be 107.
Exactly. Yeah, that's my question was. Yeah, right. So let's say I used to get $100 for my job. Let's say in the university as a TA, I get $100 per hour, but they have said if I do well, they will give me an increment of 7% next year. That means if I used to get $100 per hour now, I'll get $107 per hour next year. Are you guys okay with this? That's the initial part we need to understand before we go any further. Okay, now let's go for the second one. So now, if the tuition was $1,200, what would be the tuition next year if it increases by 7%? Right? If I used to get $1,200, now if it increases by 7%, how much would I get? That's the question.
Well, it would be 1,200 plus 7% of 1,200, which is 84. So you'd add those together.
Exactly. So let's go for this. Okay. Yeah. So as an instructor, I always tend to say this, that try to see the question carefully. Try to connect each and every word to your solution. Because if you miss one of the words, or if you just overdo anything, you might actually get disrupted. Your solution might get in the wrong way. So in the first or the third example precisely, The question says, how much tax will you pay, right? It didn't ask you to find how much overall will you pay, right? Okay. Whereas in this example, you are not asked to find what would be the increment, or what would be the additional amount you need to pay. It says how much overall you need to pay. Can you see that? Can you see the difference? It's really important, because if it's a multiple choice question, there will be not at all, no chance at all to give you a partial credit if you just go for the wrong option. If it's free response question, then I might give you partial credits based on what you have shown in the solution. But if you are doing a multiple choice question, and if the questioner is clever enough, he will have both the options, so that you can easily miss one of those words and go for the wrong option. So it's really important, as this is the really beginning, we're really kicking off the semester. I want you guys to make sure that you are paying complete attention to the question. Each and every word matters. Okay, so as the question says, what would be the overall tuition next year? We first need to find the additional amount we need to pay, and then we need to add that. So that's one way we can do that. Or what you can do, we can use the equivalent relation and find the result. So if you go for the first one, we would have paid 7%, $7 for every 100. So for 1200, we'll pay, the percent is 0.07, the whole amount is 1200. So we'd have paid $84 as an extra, right? So overall, we would have paid $1,200 plus this additional amount, which is $1,284. We can go for that. Or, as I said, we can do it in one step. So if we're trying to find the overall amount, we can start with the overall amount first. So if the tuition increases by 7%, what would be the final tuition? It would be 107, right? So if it becomes 107%, what would be the tuition for $1,200? This is actually the second para of example 4. We have already done the alternative part because it actually resembles the same idea of what we have done in example 3. But again, as we are looking for the whole amount, we can do it the way it's been done in the second para as well. So now the percent would be 107. So that in the decimal part, it would be 1.07. The whole amount is $1,200. So as you can see, we straight away get $1,284. Whichever format you like, you can follow it. If you're struggling to understand what we have done in the second one, you can clearly do the alternative one, because it actually exactly the same way we have done example 3, right? Okay, any question after this? Again, I'm repeating myself. Even if the question is really silly, you might have hesitations. Should I go for it? Should I ask him the question? You should completely go for it. I'm more than happy to answer your question, okay? Any question up to example 4? No questions at all? These are really easy stuff, right? Okay. Okay. We'll go for example 5 now, and then as we are not really going for the homework now, your post-class assignment would be to solve Try It Now 1. Okay, That means the box you can see in between example 4 and 5. This would be your post-class assignment. What you can do, you can solve it. You can send me the picture of that, or even if you can make a PDF and send me in my email, okay? Whichever you like. So this will be your homework for, I guess, the next class is on Wednesday, right? Yeah. So before Wednesday, anytime before we start, I want you to solve it. It shouldn't take more than 2 minutes. Even if it takes more than 2 minutes, no worries. I'm not saying that you are doing it in a wrong way, but take your time and try to solve it. Okay. Now let's go for example 5.
Do you want us to share that through email with you?
Yeah, you can send me the picture or the PDF file in my email. Yeah, that would be great. Or even you can send me in the Canvas as well, the inbox of Canvas. That works as well. No worries. Okay.
Wait, which question? What did you say was homework? Sorry, I got a little bit confused.
Can you see my screen now?
Yes.
Okay, so at the top you can see try it now 1. Can you see that?
Okay, that's our homework.
Yeah, exactly. I'll send you an announcement.
Okay, sorry.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so I don't think we should go for example 5 today, because for example 5, I need you guys to understand the absolute and relative change as well. So yeah, we'll leave it for the next class. Okay, we'll stop it at example 4 today. Okay, any question up to this? Anything you want to share, anything, any suggestions you'd like to throw at me, I'm perfectly fine with that. If you want me to slow down, if you want me to go faster, you can always say that, okay? So I guess, yeah, that's it. That should be it for today. So your homework will be try it now 1, and I'll send you the announcement soon after I finish. And as I said, I am working on the account completion of my Open Math. So once I do that, I'll send you the updates as well. Until that, you will not have any actual homework, I should say. So till then, I want you guys to enjoy and learn mathematics. Okay, take care.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.